All right. Welcome, everybody, to Dion's Daily Dose. I'm Dion.
And I'm Shawn.
And today we're going to talk about some interesting stuff, I think. So I scooch rather than having to mess with the camera. So last month, end of last month, beginning of this month-ish, I think. God, they all run together, don't they? Man, especially it just feels like time is like
going fast.
Yeah, like it's switching gears on us or something. Anyway, I went down to Alabama and I went boar hunting. Now, this was the first time I had hunted anything other than the most elusive prey. Man, no, I'm kidding. I went down to go boar hunting with a buddy of mine because I'd never done it before, and I figured it'd be a learning experience. It was a learning experience. That's for sure. We went with I think it's called Great Southern Outdoors is the name of the place, and they have like 4,000 acres.
Wow.
In like southeast Alabama, over by the Georgia state line, and it was interesting. I'm not going to bore you guys. I'm going to do a full video on it, but I did want to say that it was. I mean, it was I didn't see any boar except the stuffed ones that they have. Which, if you guys want to see, I'll show you. Let me get to it. So there it is. Okay.
My screen's blank.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop it up here in a second.
Okay, just letting you know.
Here. Yeah, I appreciate it. I gotta find it. I thought I had them all. Hang on, let me take a look. I can't really see. Oh, I don't think I. All right, yeah, I must have not uploaded the actual. Okay, so I don't have the pictures right now. When I talk about it, I'll upload the pictures. But it was this massive acreage. There's some stuffed boar in the big bastard, man. The thing's like waist high. I mean, it's huge. We go there, did the orientation, go out to the blinds, and I saw deer. I saw plenty of deer. I mean, if I could shoot deer, I'd have got some deer, but we couldn't. Then, like I said, I'll break it down during the thing, but there were some. Here's the part though. So after the trip was over, we're headed home, and we didn't get anything. My buddy didn't see any boar either. Or I'm sorry, he saw one, but he couldn't get a clean shot on it. So at least he saw one. I heard some, but I didn't see him. Man, I had a night vision scope and everything. Like I was ready. Anyway, on the way back, before we left, we asked the guy, I'm like, is there anything like cool to do around here? Since we're leaving the state today, anything on the way, right? We're going up via Huntsville area, heading north. And he's like, well, there's Lake Martin machine gun. And I'm like, machine gun?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Machine gun? And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a firing range with full-on machine guns, baby. They have a lot. I'm going to show you guys. This I have pictures for. So let me show you guys. Here's the unassuming front of the building.
All right.
Let's see here. Hold on. Let me get this. Set up here. Get the correct. There we go. All right. So it's called Lake Martin Machine Gun, and it's located in. It's actually a place called Eclectic, Alabama.
Oh,
I love the Eclectic. Yes, Eclectic, Alabama.
never heard of it.
Me either. I hadn't heard of it, but it's a little off the beaten path, right? But they got a Humvee outside. They also got another one inside. These are just a few of, and just so you guys know, I don't want to run afoul of YouTube or anything. No one, I don't know what the rules and regulations about YouTube are, but no one was injured. It was a firing range. It was all legal, all that. So let's get all that crap out of the way. Everything in these cases here, you can shoot. Okay. And there's a price per magazine or per drum, depending on, what you're using. Sorry, belt. Because there's some belt fed stuff, as you can see in the background here. We'll get to those in a minute. But they've got little zip guns and Uzis and all kinds of stuff. I can't even go through everything that's there. Over here, you've got some various rifles, AKs, etc. You got your M249 saw, the M60. Like, there's a lot. The minigun, yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, he does indeed have a minigun. And yours truly got to shoot it. Look at it. Oh, God, look at that thing. Oh, love it. Love it. This is, I forgot what this one is, I'll be honest. This is the Maudus, also known as the M2. Look at that thing, man. Oof. Some more pictures, various rifles. There was a lot of really interesting factoids that he told us about the various guns that he has, the histories. The one here is from World War II, and it's got these odd little clips on the end of the magazines. It's like, I don't even know which one that is. But like I said, there we go. I think we missed one. Yeah. All right. So this right here
I'll be fine. I'll just lean into it.
is my buddy Jim, who went with me. And that is, which one is that? Cool. Is that the MP5, I think?
Now this one has a little optic on it. It's going to have a green circle with a green dot. Now these little UTG optics here, they're like $50. Mm-hmm. We've had these damn things on these guns for 6 years, 7 years. They work great. You just got to remember to turn them off. Yeah. But they're sturdy as hell. They've lasted
for $50.
I mean, either they work or they don't, and it's a cheap optic, but damn it, works great.
Oh
So,
yeah, if it works, it works.
I don't sell them, but I just tell people, hey, if it works, it ain't stupid, right?
Yeah.
Don't fix it if it's not broke.
That's right.
A green circle and a green dot. Make sure it's in the middle of the objective, in the middle of the optic.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to that front sight post. It's going to float right above the top. Just grab the grip handle here, and just make sure it's in the center of that. That front sight post is going to get in the way a little bit. And then this one, best one here. I mean, you can dump it. It's really fun. It's really fast. Mm-hmm. You're going to stand right over there.
I don't know if you heard me. That was me.
Yeah, I heard you. Wait till Dion's turn.
Right.
That's okay. That's all free. So if you get oil in your face or hot brass, that's all free.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Good to know.
Right?
Part of the experience.
All right.
Is it okay to sit up here?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Good.
Right,
Because I can get off my feet for a minute.
All right.
Plus, I was like really close,
See
man.
that circle with green
Get a little
dot?
room.
Right here.
Yep.
All right. Ready to go when you are.
All right. And
Yep. Ready to go.
all right.
Wow.
Like I said, you get a little felt.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yep.
All right. That's
And the only thing on the MP5s is when they run dry, they just basically the bolt doesn't lock to the rear. But
okay.
it fires from the closed bolt.
Is that fun?
Huh?
Is that fun?
Yeah.
All right. You want to
Roll.
grab a second
Get
mag
picture?
and just go
Yeah.
for it.
You want to do another one?
Yeah. Get a second mag.
You gonna try it, right?
Yeah. I was going to.
You want to do another one?
Yeah, I'll do another one.
Yeah. I'll let you get another one in there.
Yeah.
Because I know the first one's kind of tentative. It's like, let's see how this works.
Plus, I'm learning about
You
watching.
do get a little oil in the eye.
True.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I had to scoot just a little because it's coming like right here, which is fine. All right.
Yeah, it was like. I
There you
was like,
go.
whoa.
Rock and roll.
Lean into it.
America.
That's right. Oh God, look at that. And it was so quiet, man. Like so quiet. That was one of the things that he told us is, you know, for all this stuff, you're going to need ear protection. And we did. We had ear protection on. He's like, but for this one, you don't need ear protection. That's how quiet it is comparatively. And then we got, you know.
Here we go.
All right.
Good to go?
Yep.
All right.
You had a blast.
I did. I had an absolute blast. So there's we got, of course, got the action shots, you know, in front of the thing. I apparently
You could probably only do that in Alabama.
oh yeah. Okay. Hold on.
I don't even know if you can do that in Indiana.
All right.
So
Good
that's
to
one
go?
of the things that I want to find out. Here we go. This is the AK. Hear how loud it is comparatively?
And look
Shit,
at
I
the
love
smoke.
it. Oh, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Of course, like I said, had to get the shots, you know.
And he has
Hold it back to the stop.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
Me with the AK.
Good to go?
Yep.
All right.
I wonder how many, if there's any progressives that have given him a hard time for having something like that.
I don't know, man. You know, it's a different world down there in Alabama. It really is. I just want to show you guys a couple more, and then we'll move on.
Back in your shoulder and push forward.
Tommy gun,
All right.
the Chicago typewriter,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen. I had a couple of minor issues with the feed on this, as you can see.
The wrong magazine, bad magazine.
Apparently, there's a bad magazine and a good magazine. But we got it sorted, I believe.
You can just lay your hand on top of that, or there you go.
There we go. Okay.
All right.
Looking for a comfortable position
Right?
with that
Yep.
sandbag, man. It was kind of hard to.
Wow.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got
That's cool.
Right. All right, one more, and then let's see, and that's the minigun. You guys, of course, I'm going to show you the minigun.
Lean up there.
I think I've seen this one.
You probably have. You guys watch my social media. I did post this one.
That was cool.
So right after I said I have got to get me one of these, the guy was like, do you have any idea how much these cost? And I was like, a lot. I mean, more than I have. But it turns out that apparently they are over $200,000, like 250 grand for that bad boy right there. And with that information, I was like,
Oh, I bet.
this is
Yeah.
a lot further away than I thought I would be. Now, saying that, there are several places around the United States where you can go and fire automatic weapons. One's in Kentucky. This one's in Alabama. Another one, there's one in Texas where you can drive a tank. And yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like this. I would love to make one here in Indiana. I don't know if it's possible.
I don't
If you
know.
guys know the law on that, you know, by all means, get in touch and let me know. But that is something, dude, I would love to have that near us. Hell, we can't even have a firing range in Michigan City, like much less something like this. Can you imagine the liberal heads exploding if I tried to put a machine gun range in? Oh my God. Yeah. Speaking of liberal heads exploding, it's a nice segue, right?
Yep.
So I got like 400 tabs open. There we go. What do you think about this whole property tax thing going on with Braun and
I
the
haven't heard of-
legislature? Have you paid in much attention to this at all?
A little bit.
Okay. So the general gist of it is that Braun, when running for governor, promised to cut property taxes. That was his big thing, right? We can't, we need to cut property taxes because they're ridiculous, and they are. And states all over the country do just fine with no tax. Well, of course, the Indiana legislature's first reaction to that was, oh my God, we need the money. And in case you guys don't know, those of you watching from other states, Indiana has a Republican supermajority, which means that if they really want something passed, it's going to get passed. No matter what. If the Republicans want it done, it's going to get done. Interestingly enough, ever since we've had a Republican supermajority, our taxes have gone the fuck up.
Over and over
Gas
again.
taxes, property taxes, all of it, sales tax, all of it is rising, except instead of legalizing cannabis because they want all this money, right? They look at all this money going to Michigan and they going to Illinois because we live in Northwest Indiana. So it's very easy to see all these cars coming and going from Michigan. What's their solution? Is it to legalize cannabis? No, of course not. What do they do instead? They make it to where dispensaries cannot advertise. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Rather than fund these projects that the right wants, right? Instead of doing that, they attack the free speech of businesses in neighboring states.
I saw that.
Yeah. Now the big compromise, I guess. I don't know if this is fully complete. I know that it's in the works, but their idea is they can't make it to where it's outright illegal, right? They tried that. They can't do that. What they can do, though, is they can word it in such a way that the billboard companies cannot renew the contracts.
I see.
Okay. So what they're doing is before this law goes into effect, they're hurrying up and doing very long contracts, like 10-year contracts, right? I mean, I get it, right? All they've succeeded in doing is calling more attention to the fact that Indiana is very behind. And look, you can believe how you want to believe on this. Cannabis, no cannabis, legal, illegal, whatever. But no one can deny that we are losing hundreds of millions of dollars to neighboring states.
And then with the property taxes, didn't the legislature make it that cities can raise taxes?
Yeah. So here's the thing on the property taxes, right? So initially, Braun is very strongly, we're going to reduce property taxes. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, right? It goes to the legislature. The legislature absolutely butchers the hell out of this thing to where it's not even recognizable as what it is anymore. The best part of it is that homeowners can get like $200. Hold on. So they made it to where you can get like $200, $250, something like that, right? But they also made it to, because the big concern with this reduction in property taxes is schools, right? That's always the thing. But our schools. So what they did was they were like, well, what we'll do is we'll make it. Oh, and roads. That was the other thing. Our roads, roads. Now, bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that Indiana has some of the highest gas taxes in the Midwest. One of the highest tax rates in the nation on fuel. So, fuck off about the roads, right? Also, in LaPorte is a $25 wheel tax. So what the legislature did in their infinite wisdom is made it to where counties and cities can do their own wheel taxes.
Okay, that's what.
But there's a cap on it, and I don't know how it gets distributed. I don't know how that's, if it goes county first, then I don't know. I have no clue. But there is a cap that it's X amount. It can't be any higher, and that's somehow distributed between everybody who has their money grubbing paws out. I am so sick and tired of every time we turn around, it costs more and more and more to fund our so-called lean Republican government. It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. And so Braun goes, oh, I don't know what he said exactly, but what started as we're going to do this ended up being, yeah, this is okay. And it's a tiny pale fraction of what he promised when he
was running.
So, and then Micah, Lieutenant Governor Beckwith, made a statement that essentially, what did we accomplish? This is a horrible bill and it should be vetoed.
And nobody understands it.
And no, that's the thing. Nobody understands it at all. Even the so-called legislators that created this piece of steaming garbage knows like how it's laid out. They can't explain it. I've asked. They can't explain it well. I mean, it's just objectively bad.
Didn't he want to call special session Beckwith?
That's what he recommended that's what Micah recommended to the governor, was to call a special session back and get this ironed out, get it fixed, right?
Did he end up signing it yet?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm not sure either.
Let's find out. Okay, I found it. As of April 15th, Governor Mike Braun signs historic property tax relief bill into law. Critics call it a lose-lose. Indiana's major property tax reform package is now law. In his statement on social media, Braun called the legislation historic tax relief that benefits nearly every Hoosier. Bullshit. Beginning next year, Senate Enrolled Act 1 creates a new property tax credit of 10% of a homeowner's bill up to $300. So you can get up to $300. So that's 10%. If your home's worth $300,000, then you could get $300, right? It adds additional credits for older Hoosiers and veterans. It eventually exempts most businesses from the business personal property tax, a tax on equipment. And it slightly changes how farmland is assessed to help bring down farmers' property taxes.
All right, well, if you say so.
But in a statement, Representative Greg Porter, D. Indianapolis, said all that will cost local governments and schools up to $1.8 billion in funding over just the next 3 years. To help balance that, the measure gives locals new income tax tools, and that prompted Porter to call the bill a lose-lose that tries to shift the blame for taxes to local communities. That's it. That's the entire article. Okay. I'm not a fan of this.
I'm not
at all, not even remotely. I think it's a joke to call it some kind of tax break. I find it insulting that the legislators and Braun are going to attempt to claim that they lowered taxes when they haven't. That they simply have not. It's just that simple.
It's not being honest.
It's not.
No.
It's not. And so people have said several things. One of the things they've said is that Republicans can expect to lose the next major election in Indiana after this and other stuff that is going on. I don't know about that.
We will see.
We'll see. But what I will say is I want to see more of you in the primary. I want to see more regular Americans, regular Hoosiers stepping up and running for office, because we got to get these fucking people out of there, dude. It's just that simple. These so-called Republicans, these rhinos, because that's what a lot of them are. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Republican in name only, because there's no way in hell that this is a Republican platform. Yeah. The constant overtaxing, and one of the other major takeaways, you heard about the toll road bullshit, right?
I have not.
You haven't heard about this?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I have and I forgot.
It could be. Okay. So one of the big deals this year was the attempt by the legislature to change the way toll roads work in Indiana. Now, the current or former method was there had to be X number of miles. I think it was like 65 miles. I'm not sure about that figure, but there had to be a certain distance between toll roads. So you could have a toll road like 80-90 through Indiana is a toll road. 90, the entirety of it, 80 part of it. So it would make it to where there would have to be X amount of space between that toll road and another toll road. Well, this eliminates that requirement. And so a lot of people were thinking that they were planning on tolling I-94 and I-65, right? Have you heard the name Red Stone?
I have.
Okay. He is Porter County, and he bought billboards out of his own money to protest this toll road fiasco. There were a lot of people, especially here in Northwest Indiana, that we don't want another friggin' toll road, dude. We don't need another fucking toll road. Not to mention all this money that we are giving them for taxes, right? The wheel tax, the high ass gas taxes. Why are my roads shit? Why are all the roads garbage? All of them. They're all trash. Carroll, they recently repaved. It's cracking already. Have you seen that? Yeah, there's big ass cracks running through it. They just did it, dude. Yeah. Not even that long ago.
No.
And 94 is atrocious, absolutely atrocious. And don't get me wrong, it's been a minute since I've been on the toll road, right? I've been on there. I think it was like a couple months ago. I popped on the toll road real quick. It's pretty shitty too. I'm just going to say it is. If you're going to make a toll road, that motherfucker better be pristine. Yeah. If you are charging me money to ride on this road, number one, there shouldn't be any cops, but I know that's a hot take, but
yeah, that one,
there's a hot take, a little spicy. But that road better be good. If I'm paying to drive, which we're all paying to drive on these roads anyway, between our taxes for our car, our tax, sales tax for the car, sales tax for the plates, yes. God forbid you want any, special stuff on it, whether it's like Meals on Wheels plate or whatever. There's a ton of them to choose from. And then if you want it personalized, there's another $50. Plus this, plus that, plus this fucking wheel tax, plus next thing you know, you spent, $300 just to get plates on your damn car. You paid for these roads. Why do they suck so bad? And all you hear from these politicians is we need more money. Well, I gave you a bunch. Look at what you've done.
We need Doge in Indiana.
Oh my God. We need something. We really do. And I get that government requires money to function. I understand that. I get that. But at what point is it enough? And we had people like on social media defending this shit. And I'm like, at what point does the government get enough of our money? Exactly. At what point does, 40% or more of our income now is taxed between your job, go buy anything, property tax, sales tax, like you name it, there's a tax on everything. I read a tax poem before on this channel where it really does sum it up. You know, tax his house, tax his goat, tax his tears, tax everything. And that's what these fucking politicians now seem to be just full throttle at.
And they should know better. They're Republicans.
Allegedly. That's the real key. Allegedly. You know, I can't even, man.
We're becoming Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. And so shifting for a moment.
Okay.
Because I can bitch about taxes for hours, but I guess India and Pakistan are now.
They are.
In full on, they calling it a war, or is it just a conflict?
Right
still?
now it's just a conflict. It's not war
so
yet.
I'll be honest. I wasn't that worried about this until, well, three things. Number one, India's the new China. They're really starting to pick up the manufacturing from China, which we'll talk about, by the way. The tariffs have had an absolutely devastating effect on the Chinese economy. And so a lot of the stuff that was being made in China is now being made in India, or at least shipped through India for now. They're trying to get stuff up and running. So if India goes to war with Pakistan, that's going to create an issue.
And they both have nuclear weapons.
That was the other thing. That was number two. You called it. Pakistan explicitly said this won't stay a conventional war if they keep attacking us. We're going to use nukes. And to hear a country just, we're going to nuke them is a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
I mean, because it can be over there all we want. As we well know, nuclear weapons affect a lot. Not only large areas, but that shit carries, man.
Trump needs to intervene.
Yeah.
Do something about this.
Yeah. So that's, I would say, number three is it'll be interesting to see how Trump handles this. I think this is a bit more finesse requiring than even like Israel and the Arab nations, because Trump does have a very good relationship with Israel. You guys can like it or hate it. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. He has a great relationship with Israel.
And he has a pretty good relationship with the Prime Minister of India, too.
Yeah. What was his name? Modi. Yeah. He's got a great relationship with him. Pakistan, less so. I mean, let's face
Pakistan whites our money. They act like they're our friend, but I don't really.
Yeah.
So, and the problem is, they have been fighting over this piece of land for a long time. And that's what this conflict has started, because there was a terrorist attack in Kashmir. Yeah,
something like that.
So that's what started it. So it's going to be difficult to put the genie back in the bottle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's going to.
This is a problem.
It's a big problem. It's a big problem. And apparently India has been fighting with China as well for many years.
Yes.
There's another land dispute.
There's been scrimmages.
Yeah. And to the point to where I guess India and China both said no guns in this zone, right? There's this area where they can't bring guns in because they're worried they're going to kill each other. And I get it, right? So they're making like medieval, like pole arms and shit to fight with. Yeah. Hold on.
I heard this.
Hang on. Okay. I found it. All right. So according to AI, in 2020, Chinese troops reportedly employed improvised weapons like nail-studded rods, wooden clubs wrapped in barbed wire, and possibly halberds.
What's a halberd?
Halberd is like a big axe on a pole.
Oh. Okay.
Indian troops, it says, used iron batons and other makeshift weapons. Down here are various articles about it. So yes, the AI was actually telling the truth on this. Chinese soldiers threw stones and wielded wooden sticks wrapped with barbed wire. Indian forces, iron batons, and it kind of grew from there. So yeah, there's no way this is real. Like, we have to live in a simulation, and someone got some DLC, because there's no way that we're following the regular rules of the universe at this point. Everything is just so crazy weird, man. So crazy.
Everything is upside down.
It really is. Okay, so speaking of upside down, we got a few more minutes for a couple more things. Did you hear about the Antifa taking over the university? What was it? Northwest? Is it Northwest University, or
I thought it was in Washington.
Yeah, Washington State, something like the WSU. Anyway, they took over this university out there and blockaded the paths with trash cans and other kinds of crap. And so you guys remember the Summer of Love, I'm sure, as CNN like to call it, mostly peaceful, fiery protests. The cops didn't mess with them. They were specifically told to stand down. Well, in this case, the police went in and took care of business. They cleared their asses right out.
Yeah, I found the video.
You found the video? Send it to me real quick. We'll throw it up here, because if you haven't seen this, man, if
it's the right video.
This is interesting.
I gotta wait for an ad.
Yeah, it usually does. That's all right. So, as an aside, before we do that, I want to show you guys this, because this is a heartwarming story.
Oh yeah,
and it is police doing the protecting, or the serving.
Yeah, serving and protecting.
Yeah, doing the positive part of their job, right?
Not all cops are bad.
Not exactly. Not all cops are bad.
I think most of them are good.
I agree with that. I think the majority of them are good. I do believe that we need to do a better job, though, on policing the police. I will say that, but
I'm not going to say 100% of them.
Oh yeah. Because look, man, I was a correctional officer. I was one of the good ones. I had the vast majority of the people that I worked with were the good ones, but they had a couple, right? They had one that tried to smuggle in some contraband in a Pringles can. Really did, and he was late. So if you're going to do that, I'm not going to give anybody ideas. Anyway,
you're going to do that. Why be late?
Why be late? You're the only guy there, dude. You're an idiot. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to show you.
All right. Let's see this. And I sent you that video.
Okay. All right. I'll pop it up here in just a second. All right. So here we go with this one.
Frantic adult carrying a toddler who police say was struggling to breathe. The adult told officers that the child was eating a tomato before appearing to choke on it.
Oh, so he's talking. Are you okay? Okay. Can you open your mouth for me, buddy?
Body-worn cameras captured the ensuing moments as officers raced to help the child. Tampa police later took to social media to encourage people to learn the signs of choking, emphasizing that individuals who can't speak, cough, or breathe may need help immediately.
With me, bud? He's breathing. He's making noise. He's breathing. Relax. All right, bud? Spit it out if you can, okay? There it goes. There it is. There it is. All right.
Yay!
Okay. Good. It was a little tomato.
CNN has reached out to Tampa Police Department for more information.
So it happens, and that's the thing, right? This happens every day. There are positive stories around the nation. But let's face it, that's not what sells. No. That's not what sells newspapers. That's not what gets people to click. The terrible stuff is a lot more entertaining, unfortunately, for a lot of people. Okay, so let me bring.
I've never seen this video, so I don't know if it's the one you're looking for, but I assume it is.
What is happening here? Am I the wrong one? I am. Okay, there we go.
Yes, it's over there. Or you could do that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm all right.
This might be the one.
Okay, so this was yep. All right. Bruh. Okay. This is awful. This is all awful. There we go.
And then you
Okay. Pause it.
The sound.
Okay. Yep. First of all, let me get this. All right. We might be ready. What is happening here? There we go.
And then you
All right. Yeah. Let's get the sound going here. You guys didn't miss it.
Maybe not.
Look at this.
These people are
Really?
crazy.
Look at this. So we're used to this, especially in the Northwest, West Coast period, right? You got the Antifa. They think they've won, right? They push the police back. Except, did she say I love Pikachu? I didn't hear what they said. I'm not even going to pretend that I understood anything they said. Blah, blah, blah. They chant some impossible to understand stuff. But the police showed up with reinforcements after this video. They came back with a lot more people, which they should, and arrested a lot of people.
Those people are crazy.
Bruh, like, it's zonkers at this point. Like, how bizarre. The crazy part is, I don't even think they know what they're protesting. In many of these circumstances, it's supposed to be about, I guess, the war in Gaza and the Palestinians and stuff like that. But yet they don't actually do anything. And if you think for one moment, and I'm just gonna tell you directly, if you think for one moment that grabbing a trash can and putting a mask on your face and marching up to the police is going to stop a fucking thing in Israel, you're an idiot. It's just that simple. You're a moron. I'm sorry. That's just how it is.
I think they just want to create chaos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So here's the question, right? Apparently, one of the people that were arrested from this was like an assistant DA.
Really?
Yeah. I watched a video on it. I'll find it. But yeah, who had been at a prior protest somewhere else. Interestingly enough, they have not said whether any of the people arrested were actually students at this school.
That's what happens a lot of times. That they're not. I bet there's some students, but
there probably are. There probably are a handful of students, but the majority of these people seem to be either bussed in or willingly come of their. I mean, either way, I don't think they're being kidnapped and transported, but either way, they were either provided transportation or get their own transportation to come and stir shit,
cause chaos, and would
cause chaos.
Quite idiots.
Yeah, I mean, what are you accomplishing?
Nothing.
That's like that. Remember that whole what was it? Chop bullshit.
Yes.
With what was it? Seattle, where they took over several blocks.
I
was going through my videos the other day, like trying to get a little better organized and put them in folders and stuff. And I saw that old video. I was like, oh my God, I remember that. Whatever happened to those people? Did they get arrested?
I believe they got arrested. I don't know if they got arrested or they just left. That's a good question.
Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see what
Oh yeah, the city of Seattle had to pay them.
the cap what? Hold on. Whoa.
What below?
Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, Chaz, later renamed the Capitol Hill Organized Protest, CHOP, in Seattle, resulted in significant consequences, including a surge in crime, imagine that, property damage, and legal challenges for the city. The absence of police presence led to a breakdown of law and order with reported incidents of violence, assaults, and other crimes. Furthermore, the city faced lawsuits from property owners, who were unable to access or secure their building. You know what? Good.
Right.
Because they should have protected those people. Why in the hell are they paying taxes if they're just going to be sorry about your luck? No, damn that. Who got arrested? That's what I want to know. Did people get arrested?
I don't think they did, but we'll see.
Let's see here.
I guess 23 arrested.
Within a few hours, as police worked to clear the area. Okay. I guarantee you, whoever started that was long gone.
Probably.
Whoever organized that shit was not boots on the ground to get arrested by the time they responded. I can promise that. It's dude, like, come on, man.
Yeah, that was crazy when that was going on.
One 16-year-old passed away. The other victim, 14, intensive care. Look at that. What did you accomplish, people?
Besides looking like idiots.
Yeah, besides looking like morons. One man is charged with arson after allegedly starting a fire. Yeah. So, okay, there were some people arrested. But whatever happened?
Yeah.
What became of it? Did Seattle learn anything from this?
Probably.
I would argue no.
Probably
They didn't
not.
learn a damn thing because they're still voting the same way. They're still celebrating our diversity the same way. All this shit is exactly the same in Seattle. I don't see any change at all.
No.
They didn't learn a damn thing. Let's see here. This is a total of 44 people were subsequently arrested. So according to that, looks like, no, I'm not going to go through all this. There's a lot. Oh my God. It's even more than, never mind.
Yeah.
It's basic. I just looked it up and it's like everything that happened with it. It's like page upon page. I'm like, that's too much. I was going to look for a quick synopsis, man, find out what happened to the people charged. But I just honestly, if it was closer, I would care a lot more, but it doesn't matter. No. It doesn't matter. Nothing I say is going to change anyone's mind in Seattle, fucking Washington. So
I've never even been there.
You never been to Seattle? It's a very dreary city. Yeah. The Pacific Northwest in general has a lot of rainfall, and it's just always, it feels like always either muggy, misty, cloudy, foggy, or rainy.
Yeah.
Like
I would not
always, dude. You'll have that rare day that's just, beautiful, crystal clear. This is just my personal experience from driving through there a few times. I wasn't impressed. I was like, why? Now, that said, the Oregon wilderness is beautiful. The Washington wilderness, beautiful. The Pacific Northwest in general, gorgeous, right? But the weather sucks. It's like the polar opposite of California, man. Or California is like always nice. It never rains in Southern California kind of stuff. It always rains in the Pacific Northwest, man. Like, oh my God, it's a meme at this point. Like, people talk about how wet it is in Seattle because it is. It's just that bad.
Yeah,
So
I would not like it.
Yeah, it's not. It's not any fun. I didn't find it particularly like a place that I'd want to move to. But I mean, I also live in Northwest Indiana, so what are you
I'll
gonna
take
do?
Indiana over that.
Exactly. I mean, at least here, we have the cool air from the lake that comes to cool off the hotter temperatures that we get during the summer, and winter's a bitch. Like winter it is, but it's like a third of the year, maybe a
That's
little
true.
more, but there's, I think, a lot more positives than negatives. No tornadoes, no earthquake. Well, I won't say no tornadoes. Sorry, guys. Yeah, there was one that touched down. Where was it? Was
it near Couts?
Yeah, there was one
near
like
my
by
old
Couts, the
hometown.
last major storm we have. But tornadoes are very rare. Let's just say that. Tornadoes are very rare here. And compared to like Tornado Alley, right? Same weather essentially as Tornado Alley without as many tornadoes. So that's good. Midwest weather. The Great Lakes don't have like tidal waves or hurricanes. So at least there's that. There's a lot of good things, I think, about living up here. And it seems like summer's kind of short compared to like Louisiana, dude. Kiss my ass. Summer's like the whole year. It feels like, but here, summer represents an equal part of the schedule, the same way that spring or fall. But here, the really super hot summer feels shorter. Whether it is, I don't know, but it feels shorter. You got a lot more fall and a lot more spring, which got a new bike. So we're going to be enjoying that. Yeah. The weather though, like sometimes I consider living in a place like Texas or Florida or even like Tennessee or Kentucky, right? Less winter means maybe I could ride more, but there's a lot of negatives to that as well.
I like Florida, but I don't like the hurricanes.
The hurricanes are something else, man.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. Florida, Louisiana, but especially Florida. Florida's fucked because no matter which way,
Yeah.
I mean, it just sticks all the way out. No matter which way the hurricane comes from, Florida's just getting it. Sitting down there in the Gulf of America.
The House passed a bill changing the name today.
Did they?
Yeah.
Officially?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
See if the Senate picks it up.
I'm sure the left is loving that.
Oh, I bet. I haven't seen the reaction to it yet, but I bet they are.
No, yeah, I'm sure. Like, no, dude, nothing Trump can do is good to these people. Nothing at all. Yeah. And it's the same thing as it was last time.
You see that Trump got a huge trade deal with United Kingdom today?
I did not.
Yeah,
I did not.
There was a huge deal.
I know he was making some sort of announcement. That's what it was. Okay, so let's let's take a look at that real quick. So UK-US trade deal. Right?
Yep.
Trade deal, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so whitehouse.gov. Let's see what we got here. All right, guys, let's show you this right fast. This is fact sheet. US-UK reach historic trade deal, establishing a new paradigm for our special relationship. Today, on the 80th anniversary of Victory Day for World War II. Huh. I didn't know that.
He wants to change the name. He made it a national holiday, too, today. Called Victory Day.
Trump and Starmer announced a historic trade deal, providing American companies unprecedented access to the UK markets while bolstering U.S. national security. This is a great deal for America. Trump, quote, "The deal includes billions of dollars of increased market access for American exports, especially in agriculture, dramatically increasing access for American beef, ethanol, and virtually all the products produced by our great farmers." Okay, that sounds good. The UK will reduce or eliminate numerous non-tariff barriers that unfairly discriminated against American products. This is now turning out to be really a great deal for both countries. Starmer said, "This is going to boost trade between and across our countries. It's going to not only protect jobs, but create jobs, opening market access. This trade deal will significantly expand U.S. market access in the UK, creating a $5 billion opportunity for new exports for U.S. farmers, ranchers, and producers. This includes more than $700 million in ethanol exports and $250 million in other agricultural products like beef." It's what's for dinner. It commits the countries to work together to enhance industrial and agricultural market access, closes loopholes, and increases U.S. firms' competitiveness in the UK procurement market. ensures streamlined customs procedure for U.S. exports, establishes high standard commitments in the areas of intellectual property, labor, and environment. It maximizes the competitiveness and secures the supply chain of U.S. aerospace manufacturers through preferential access to high-quality UK aerospace components, creates a secure supply chain for pharmaceutical products. I like that. The reciprocal tariff rate of 10%, as originally announced on Liberation Day, is in effect. The United States will agree to an alternative arrangement for the Section 232 tariffs on UK autos. Under the deal, the first 100K vehicles imported into the U.S. by UK car manufacturers each year are subject to the reciprocal rate of 10%, and any additional vehicles each year are subject to 25% rates. Okay. Interesting. It goes on. There's quite a bit more to it, but it sounds overall, you guys go to whitehouse.gov, and it should be up there.
And also, one more thing.
Yeah.
Changing the subject, speaking of the Prime Minister of England, he has a plan. I think I sent this to you to try to block out the sun. Did you see that?
Oh God, again, they're coming up with this shit.
Oh, you didn't see that when I said
no, I didn't see that one. I know Bill Gates years ago wanted to do.
They're coming up with a plan, the UK government.
Oh my God, bruh.
There's so many consequences of them possibly doing that.
Right.
I don't know.
Like, why would you? It's one thing to have, I would call it an exploratory conversation on something like that, right? To say, okay, I had an idea and it's this. That's the time for people like you and me to go, you're an idiot.
Don't do this.
Don't do this. Like,
this is going to affect the whole world.
Right? I mean, it's the sun, bruh. We kind of need that. Like, what? I can't even believe that, like, they're really legitimately serious about this, but
they're looking into it.
Unreal. Dude, hold on. I gotta
look for UK.
UK block out sun. Yeah. Yeah, the UK government is funding real-world geoengineering experiments aimed at reflecting sunlight back into space, potentially reducing global warming. These guys cannot get their terms right, by the way. Global warming, don't you know that went out with Al Gore, that term? Now it's climate change, guys. Come on. These experiments include testing sun-reflecting particles in the stratosphere, brightening reflective clouds using seawater sprays, and thickening sea ice. The Advanced Research and Innovation Agency, ARIA, a government-backed body, is funding nearly £60 million for these initiatives, including those in the Holy crap, dude. Why? Why would they think it's okay? Go away. I'm not giving you any money. Fucking Guardian.
Me either.
Piss off. Dude, unreal. Absolutely unreal. Yeah. So that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
That's what's going on right now. By the time you guys see this, we will have done our video on
judicial overreach
today,
House Judiciary
Thursday,
Committee.
right? Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I think it's going to be extremely interesting. Shawn's kind enough to get the timestamps for us, and it's an interesting question. Like, it is, and we'll talk about it during the show. Like I said, guys, if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
And the opinion of overreach is a gray area too.
It really
how
is.
Do you
like,
define that?
Yeah. What is actual checks and balances versus too much?
And that's John Roberts's theory too.
Yeah. Which, so to let these guys know, John Roberts did like a podcast,
or he did like a fireside chat,
like a fight, what's his name used to do? Roosevelt used to do the fireside chats, right? And like Reagan did something similar on TV.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what it was called though, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he did something like that. But anyway, Roberts basically did where he's talking directly to us. And I believe we're going to do a show on that. Yeah. So stick around. And in the meantime, there are tons of videos to keep you guys busy on the channel if you're looking for something to check out. Otherwise, we'll see you again real soon. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America. Have a great night.